Okay. Podcast mamas, we're back, we're back.
It's time for bed, oh, it's time for you. Mom and Dad says what you gotta do. We don't care if you ain't tired. Take it from the one whom you so admired. It's bedtime for Heather Missy. Don't you cry or go and hiss it. No more games and no running around, 'cause we don't wanna hear another sound. Just take your bell and get tucked in and don't make us swear again and again and again.
All right, podcasters, we are back, and it's Nicole and it's Carly. Woohoo!
Greetings, everyone.
We've got Chicago on the line. We've got Phoenix on the line. I have to sit outside right now because there's people in my house, and it's 100 degrees, so I'm kind of irritated.
I thought you guys were getting a little break in the action, no?
Last week was beautiful. This week is, I think it's like the last call. They call it the last call for heat wave situation here. So this should be it. We should be like a high of 80, a high of 70 going forward until, it gets really cold, which it really doesn't. So, no, but I'm thrilled that we are finally making it to almost October, because that means I'm going to Minnesota for family weekend.
Yay!
To see
How
Carter.
fun!
To see Carter. Ella, in fact, FaceTimed him the other day when he was in between classes, and he said that when he answered the FaceTime, she was yelling at him to get home right now.
Oh,
It was pretty cute.
that is so fun. Yeah, I know the feeling. We were just at Ohio this past weekend, so that was
it? How
fun.
was it?
Us. It was great. I mean, we didn't have my daughter with us,
Okay.
so it was just,
Strictly
my
about
husband
that.
and I.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different vibe for sure than probably you'll experience. And I saw a lot of more families, It was great. He actually spent a couple nights with us in the hotel.
Oh, no kidding.
So yeah, he wanted to do that. He's been struggling with a cold and not getting good sleep where he's at. And,
Okay.
it's just crowded, crappy showers, like college, really.
Yeah. Real life. It's real life stuff.
Real life. And so he was very excited to come to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And
My bougie Benjamin. My bougie Benjamin.
bougie, he's bougie, but it's very surreal. So 2 things I'll say about this weekend quickly. The first one is that my first interaction with him, the greeting, crazy. It's surreal because I'm in this hotel lobby. We were supposed to pick him up, ran out of time with the dinner reservation. He's meeting us in an Uber. He's calling me. I'm in the lobby and I can see him getting out of this Uber, and he has a duffel bag, and it's just weird. It's surreal that here he is. He's looking for me. We've been this separated, right? So A, that, and then B, saying goodbye to him was a little challenging. So
As bad as the first time?
Oh gosh, not even remotely close.
Oh, good. Okay.
He conveyed to his father privately, he was worried it was going to be bad again and that I was going to act, quote, nuts. I did not, but I started to feel myself get a little emotional. And I'll just say that there is something very unnatural about leaving your child in this place where it still doesn't feel like home. If that sounds right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're a mama bear. This is your cub, and you've got to leave him, and that's not easy.
And so what I'll say is that we have very much adjusted to life without him here. I'm not It's good, bad, or indifferent. We, of course, miss him and all of that, right?
Yeah.
But we have adjusted. We are in our groove here, if you will.
Yeah.
But then after getting there with him, it was like, wow, oh my gosh. Like, then I was with him and didn't want to leave him. Like, oh, I needed like a little more time, or, you know. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing. There's just something a little unnatural, even though we all know the next step, right? They need to go to college. They need to do these things, or whatever their next step in life is. Doesn't have to be college.
Right.
That's natural. And we know, like, no, this is totally normal.
Well,
This
I
is,
think that there's a lot of truth in these feelings, even in like the special needs world, right? Because your kid's going to graduate high school and they're going to do something, right? You at least want them to do something. And I was at length talking about this with Carrie, Jordan's mom, because Jordan graduates this year and she's on the precipice of trying to find the right place, but she's not finding it. He's got some behaviors and frustrations and aggression that they have to deal with, and she's trying to figure out what makes all of these behaviors happen, that he's not happy, and how can we get them into a comfortable place so that they can thrive, right? How can we make them comfortable so they can thrive? Same in college, same in a day program, same with whatever.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah, no, none of that is easy. Is he okay though? Is Ben?
I think he's okay.
Is it more about you, or is it
it's
are you
fine.
reacting to Ben?
Oh yeah, he's okay. He's totally fine. It's just, it's very funny. Like, what I'd love to say to all these moms, go ahead, pack all the medicine, pack everything you want. They don't use it. This kid's walking in my room. I'm totally stuffed up. You know, should I be taking something? I mean, like, if I could tell you what I packed, like everything him and Mark were talking about, cough drops, Robitussin, Sudafed, nasal spray, you name it, Kleenex.
Guess what, Ben?
It's
You have
all
it.
there.
You
It's
have
all
it.
there. It's all there. So
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
So
Oh,
it was a great visit. Super fun to see them in, like, see him in his environment, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Like, and meet some of his friends and do our thing. So it was good. It was
Awesome.
great to see him. Great to see him. I'm very excited for when all of you guys go.
I know. And like you said, we'll probably have a very different experience since we're bringing Chase and Ella.
Yeah.
You
Very
know?
good. I mean, I will say that we did go into a couple establishments later at night. That's something you probably won't do.
Probably not. Yeah.
But I zipped that up pretty quickly. Like, maybe the places that freshmen can go
Yes.
were just not for us. They were.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm envisioning, you know, like and my party Carly will want to, right? So it's almost like I'm protecting myself from myself so that I don't embarrass Carter by wanting to be party Carly in an environment that's not about me.
Yes.
So I would want to go to these establishments and I'd want to whoop it up. And I don't know what that would look like. So Ella and Chase will keep me from making
They will
that.
be the barrier.
Yes.
They will
Exactly.
stop that.
Exactly.
Um,
No, Mom, you're going back to the hotel.
Yeah, and it was a very natural progression. So when I went, I did not stay long. A friend of ours did.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. My husband and I left, and he wanted us to leave.
Yeah.
Like, I think he did.
so. Yeah.
He kind of inferred that to me prior, like, just go. And he came back to the hotel room later,
Yeah.
and I felt like I saw what I needed to see. I saw what I needed to see.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm as much as I love that phase of life and, you know, whatever, I'm like, oh,
I'm
Good.
good.
I'm glad. I'm glad to be grown. I'm
Yep, I'm
glad
glad
to
to be
be
grown
grown.
up, not doing that anymore.
So yeah, it was all was good. How is Ella doing over there?
Well, Ella has had a really rough week, not behavior
Oh no.
wise, but after my birthday, which was after my birthday party, I should say. So Thursday, I took her to her well check where she got a flu shot. She got she got some other shot too. I can't remember right now. But she got a couple of shots, and then I had to give her Winrevair shot in her stomach when we got home. And then by Friday,
Uh-huh.
she wasn't doing good. She was kind of
Oh.
coughing really bad. And I said,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to get a phone call from the school, so I'm just going to keep you home. And I thought she'd kind of recover over the weekend. But she really didn't. She got a lot worse. And Monday, I kept her home because this cough is so bad. Makes her sound like she's drowning and she can't get air.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, folks, I know it took me till Thursday to finally take her to the doctor because I kept thinking she was going to get better. I honestly did. She never had a fever. She always has diarrhea, but she didn't have a stomach ache or there were no real hardcore symptoms other than this nasty cough. And I'm not kidding you. The bus would pull up to the driveway and I'd be like, whoops, sorry, not today. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even want to cancel the bus. I wanted to get her on the bus, but she was just so sick. So finally I take her Thursday. She was negative for COVID, negative for strep, and she had no wheezing in her lungs. But the doctor called it like mycoplasma respiratory something, which is similar to like a walking pneumonia, if you will.
Yeah, I was gonna say, uh-huh.
And so she gave her Zithromax, a hardcore antibiotic to kind of wipe it out of her system. So then I tried to send her to school Friday, and she was so excited to go. She really wanted to go, but she ripped her site out twice on Friday. So
Oh.
now we're on an antibiotic and we've ripped the site out twice. She came home in a flood of diarrhea when she got off the bus. Like she must have been sitting on that bus, just getting it all out on the bus. I don't know. Because when she got in the door, Hannah said, "Hey, Carly, could you help me for a second? Ella's leaking pee out of her skirt." And I said, "Oh, yeah, of course." So I grab a bag, we go into the bathroom, and I am not kidding you when I say I took this pull-up off, and it was an avalanche of feces and urine. And it was like,
Oh my
it,
goodness.
it was just, it was unbelievable. Mind you, I've already replaced, like, I replaced the site in the morning before she got on the bus. They called me at school at 11 to come and replace the site a second time. And then she gets home at 2:45 and now this, I mean, it was so unbelievable. And then she's coughing and she's crying. It was just, oh, mamma mia, it was terrible. So she's back at school this week. She's finally better, but she
Yeah.
still has a little bit of this cough. So I got her some albuterol to do breathing treatments. So, yeah,
Poor Lammy Chop.
I know. I know. I mean, I really feel bad for her. She gets so like worked up and it's almost like her throat spasms and she can't breathe, almost like when I whitewater raft or go under from a tidal wave and I get all that water in my
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
and that's how she sounds. So,
Oh,
yeah,
poor
she's a little
thing.
bit of a mess, but she's back at school and she went shopping today with her class to Target. So
Oh,
she's
fun. Do they like do anything with like showing them money or talking? Is that kind of the
so
point of it?
the homework is that you count out your cash and you put it in a wallet and you go onto Target's website and you look at things that are within your budget and things that you want to buy. And then you send that list with her wallet and purse because I want her to have her purse. And they go with the class to go find those items and count out their money and purchase those items. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Here's the real question. Do they make these kids self-checkout, or have they figured out a way to have someone available in Target to ring them up?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
being that it's the middle of the day, hopefully it's not as busy, and maybe some of them kind of divide and conquer. Some go to self-checkout because they're able to do that, and some go to the cashier.
I'm just saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That was my
yeah,
crabby insert for the day, that I am sick of not being able to get rung up. I'm
I
sick of
know.
the
I
person
agree. Well, if you're going to make me check out, then reduce the prices.
standing there that's perfectly capable of
Yeah,
pointing and go this way. Yeah, that's my point. Thank you.
yeah.
Hmm.
Reduce the
Hmm.
prices if I have to check myself out. Um,
Yes, great. And so, what does she have coming up in school right now? Is she cheering, or what's going on?
well, with the change in temperature, we had to let her not cheer the one
Oh,
day. And then the other day she was pretty sick still. So she still has yet to go onto the football field and actually cheer, but she did go and watch them the other day because I wanted her to get some fresh air and be out. And sometimes you know, when you just sit at home and you're worse, when
yeah.
you just sit at home all the time. So I really wanted her to get out of the house and get that fresh air. So she didn't participate, but she went and watched the girls. So she'll cheer, I think it's next week. She'll cheer before we leave for Minnesota on that Wednesday. So it'll be good.
Oh,
I know.
yay.
I know. She's doing well if she can just get rid of this nasty little respiratory thing, and still no strides with the bathroom podcasters. It is the most exhausting thing in the world is to deal with this. I mean, and she's gotten, a self-sufficient, I don't know, maybe she'll get better, even, more self-sufficient as the years go by, because she's gotten pretty good where she now, takes the pull-up off herself, cleans herself up, puts it into
Yeah, yeah.
a baggie and tries to tie it off. It's just like, coming off the bus with a
Yeah.
bucket full of diarrhea in her pants. Oh, God.
Well, listen, I mean, I'm not a physician. I'm not a developmental specialist, though at various times in my life I've claimed to be both. But like I'd imagine, right, there's this developmental portion that she's learning or working on and maybe showing. Be honest, there has to be this physical or medical component. Like I'd
Yeah,
imagine what happened the other day was beyond her control.
right, right. I mean, and not to share too much, but I've had a moment, where I'm like, oh boy, this is coming, and there's nothing to do about it. It's just coming.
Right?
And
Yeah, right.
that's few and far between for me, but I've had that, oh, maybe this is how it is for her sometimes, you know.
Right.
Other times I can't make heads or tails of it. It's a very what looks like would have been solid situation that just got smushed because she didn't want to get up or she didn't want to bother with it. I don't know. But so that's still my cross to bear. I went out with Jordan's mom the other night for a glass of wine, and she shared with me that they did pull Jordan out of school on a sabbatical, I guess we're going to call it,
Hmm.
because he's just not transitioned back into the classroom very well, and he's gotten aggressive and upset, and he's hitting himself, and then he goes to try and hit others who are trying to help him. So they're trying to get to the root of what the problem is it's causing him to
Hold on. And
escalate.
when you say transitioning back in, do you mean post summer, like after
Yeah.
being on break? Oh, so still not transitioning back in, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he started later than everybody else. I think he started like the week of the 20th of August. So he's probably just hitting that 4 week mark and they've already had to pull him out. But he went through the entire summer where his hair even grew back in on his head because he had a bald spot for a while from hitting himself throughout the course of the school year. And then it
Oh,
grew back in all summer and he looked beautiful. And his mom was like, look at, he's so happy when he's home. Why can't I make that happen for him at school? Sorry, there's a plane flying overhead, folks. That's what happens when you live near an airport. Um, so yeah, I guess I'm hoping and I'm kind of praying for him that they get that worked out at the school. One of the things they came up with, so podcasters, if you're listening and you have a student in the school system who's got some behaviors and your argument is that they need a one-on-one paraeducator to be their aide, you know,
Oh,
the school will argue, oh, we don't want to do one-on-ones because the student gets so accustomed to that one person. If they're absent for any reason or whatever the case may be, that now they're only dependent on that one person and they can't function with anybody else. So, what the school is proposing is that Jordan will have a one-on-one, but that one-on-one rotates like every hour or every hour and a half.
nice.
So everybody gets used to him, everybody gets their shift, and he, gets to have somebody with him at all times. So, one of the things that my friend observed when she went into the classroom was that he's trying to communicate what he needs and no one's listening. No one is listening.
Oh,
So he's looking at his iPad because he earned some iPad time and he's not on the Wi-Fi. And so he's saying, help, please. Help, please. But probably a little bit more difficult to understand than what I'm trying to imitate.
yeah.
And no one's paying attention. No one's acknowledging that, he's trying to do something, but he can't do it. And he struggles.
And he knows why.
Yeah. Yeah.
He probably
yeah.
knows why.
Yeah. So he's struggling to communicate and no one is helping. So now
Mhm.
the frustrations are going to set in. And that's what Carrie is trying to work through with the school. So hopefully with this new one-on-one shift, rotation program that they're going to start, he'll be able to get his needs met and everyone, it sounds like a win-win. So if people are listening and you need an answer to fix the age situation in the school, propose a rotation with all the aides so that your kiddo can
I
get what they
love
need.
that. Avoids burnout, gets him familiar with different people too, and not just dependent on one individual.
Yes. Yes,
Because I
exactly.
feel like that can happen super quickly too,
Oh yeah, you like who you like, right?
And then if that person's not available, it throws off his routine, all of it.
Yeah. So that's really hopeful. I'm very excited for Carrie, very hopeful for her that works out because I know that he needs it just as much as, she needs
Yeah,
it to do
for
this.
sure.
So, yeah, stay tuned. Maybe we'll bring Carrie on in a couple weeks to see
Yeah, we were
how
talking
things are
about
shaking
that
out.
before.
Yeah, we'll have to bring her back, see how things shake out with that whole thing. And Ella's doing well. She still has her tantrums, which, by the way, I think was a large part of why she got so sick so quickly because she damaged her vocal cords from screaming at me
Oh, okay.
and then caught that bug, and that bug probably nestled itself into the, overstimulated vocal
Good.
cords.
I like your diagnosis.
So every time she does her duck lips and screams and slams the drawers, I'm like, well, you're just going to get sick again. How's that?
Yep. Oh, I know. These girls with their sass. My daughter said something to me recently and then like slammed the car door. I rolled that window down right at school and I'm like, you listen here. Like what a way to start the day. I'm just like, watch it.
Yes.
Watch it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe it. We're almost out of time. Well,
Great. That's a
I
good thing.
I have to end on this very inspiring, positive note. I know that all of us can get down and out. And on this show, we try to share, making light of the shit show that we're all going through, right? We try to make light of it. We try to find the laughter, find the joy. And I know sometimes that's not enough. I know sometimes you're probably like, Carly, go stuff it. But Chase just came off of his freshman retreat and we were in Mass. And the theme of the retreat was this incredible phrase. So it's going to be my one-liner for anyone who has like bad moments and this negativity. Your worry ends where faith begins.
I love it.
It just moved me in such a way that anytime I'm talking to somebody and they're having a bad day, I just want to say your worry ends where your faith begins. You've got to trust in God. You have to trust whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's health, whether it's patience, whatever the case may be. Worry ends where faith begins. So
I love it. We should all instill that.
we should all instill that.
I love it.
And on that note, Nicole, any last words?
No, just take a moment each day to write down, think about, share with others what you're grateful for. There's always something.
Always something, friends. Thanks so much for listening.
Grateful heart is a magnet for miracles.
That's right. Podcast Mamas out.